37% of Americans have been charged a credit card late fee in the last 12 months. This is absolutely ridiculous because this is the easiest thing that you can avoid when it comes to your credit card bill. And if you fall within that 37%, I'm gonna need you to sit your butt down, grab a notepad, take a look at your calendar, because we are about to figure out the most tactical approach for you to pay your credit card bills to never pay a late fee ever again, as well as improve your credit score. So let's jump right in. What's up, guys? This is your boy Kenny Finance, and we are about to dive into the most important dates on your calendar as it relates to your credit card bills. That's right. It's more important than Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Halloween, your graduation, whatever it may be. Knowing your credit card bill statement date and due date and all that other stuff is the most important thing that should be on your calendar. So that's what I'm here for. We're going to dive into all of that jazz and figure out what's the best approach for you to tactically schedule and pay and have your bills paid on time ahead of time so that you never have to worry about credit card bills ever becoming late or you being charged interest. So in this video, I'm going to unpack everything as it relates to your credit card billing cycles. That's right. Everything as it relates to swiping that card, paying what you swipe for, getting things reported onto your credit score, and all of the essential timelines and dates that could hurt you or hurt you as it relates to using credit responsibly. And by the way, if you don't have a credit card yet, I recommend that you definitely get one. Sign up for one of those free credit cards because it does nothing but help improve your overall credit score. Now, I'm not saying get a credit card, start going crazy at Bloomingdale's or Starbucks, etc. No. Use a credit card very responsibly, meaning you open it up, you have a limit that you can afford and you can handle. You are spending only on essentials and that you're paying off what you spend as soon as you possibly have the cash. And using a credit card responsibly can actually help you a ton because it helps to lengthen and maximize your cash flow timing. Meaning that when you swipe your credit card at a store or whatever you want to purchase, it is not the case that you need to pull the cash out of your pocket or your bank account at that specific moment. You actually kind of get a few weeks to maybe a month of a buffer to where you swipe the credit card to where you actually have to pay off that credit card. So using that month buffer and using it wisely to either generate more income or have more investments, that's a smart approach to sort of use the time value of money in your favor. So let's dive into why understanding the billing cycle matters in the first place. Well, first and foremost, if you don't know when things are due, you are bound to slip up and miss them. It is that simple, meaning that if you're not organized, you don't have things on your calendar, or you don't have alerts, or you don't have things automated, you just relying on your own human ability to remember things and pay things ahead of time or on time, it's very difficult. Now look, you all are super special, super smart. You're probably Superwoman or Superman. You can probably handle it. But if you're someone like me, I forget a crap ton of everything. I forget birthdays. I forget due dates. I forget whatever it may be. Things tend to slip out of this big curly-headed brain. But the thing is, you need to find a way to maximize your organization skills so that you don't have to spend all of your headspace figuring out when things are due. You can kind of put systems in motion to ensure that you are on top and ahead of time when it comes to your credit card billing cycle. Because the thing is, if you don't pay your credit card bills on time, you're gonna get hurt. Your credit score is gonna fall, you're gonna run into debt, and you're gonna be charged interest, and you're gonna be charged a late fee. That is the simple fact. Those are the red flags when it comes to dating a credit card. So what you need to do is try to put yourself in a healthy position by outlining everything date-wise as relates to your credit cards. So let's dive into everything we need to know about your credit card billing cycle. And this has 3 essential dates that you need to have top of mind every single month with regards to your credit card. Number 1, your statement date. So your statement date is essentially the date at which the month's worth of purchases stops and gets recorded, and that is how much you identified as what you owe on your credit card. You can essentially view that as a month-long bill of everything that you purchased in the last 30 days. And that in total of that bill is what will be showing up on your statement for your credit card for that particular month. And it is important to footnote that you can actually change the statement date to best fit a specific day within the month that helps you maximize your payment ability or gives you more breathing room, whatever that may be. So pick it strategically, because once that statement date is set and once that thing comes every single month, it's going to ring up everything that occurred over the last 30 days. Now, the second most important date as it relates to the billing cycle, that is the due date. This is the date at which you are required to make the minimum payment on your statement balance. Meaning that if you had a $1,000 statement balance, meaning you swiped your credit card over the last 30 days and generated a bill of $1,000, you're required to make the minimum payment, which can vary depending on whatever your relationship is with your credit card company. You have to make that minimum payment on that statement balance on a particular date, and it's typically after the statement date. Now, if you're a pro tip and you're a Kenny Finance community person, you need to understand that we don't rock with minimum payments. That's just not how we rock here. We don't do that. We pay in full all the time. Meaning that if we spend $1,000, we did it because we knew we had $1,000 in cash, ready to pay that off at a moment's notice. So once your due date hits, you need to make sure that you are spending your money wisely and paying off in full whatever shows up on your statement balance. Now, the third most important date when it comes to your billing cycle is the reporting date. This is the date that your statement balance is reported to the credit bureau. This is important because this is essentially your report card being shown to your parents, meaning whatever you spent, whatever shows up on your statement balance at the end of the 30-day period, that is what gets shown to the credit bureaus to determine whether or not you are using credit effectively or not effectively. And it could hit or help your credit score depending on utilization. Now, this report card or your statement balance being shown to the credit bureaus is hyper important because this is either when your credit score is going to be positively or negatively impacted based on how much you spent over the last 30 days. And it's crucial because one of the key elements towards measuring your credit score is understanding your utilization. And utilization essentially is how much of your available credit are you using every single month. Meaning, if I have a balance of $10,000 on my credit card of available credit limit to spend, and I spend $10,000 of that balance, that means that I have 100% credit utilization. That is very bad to the credit bureau. That shows that if I have the capacity to borrow and spend money, I will do it irresponsibly. So what you want to have is a very, very, very low utilization. Under 30 is recommended for people that have really solid credit scores. And if you have under 30%, that means that if you have a $10,000 credit card limit and you only spend less than $3,000, you're in pretty good shape every single month. So what that means as it relates to the dates that we outlined, that means that if I have a $10,000 credit card limit on my statement balance, it never goes above $3,000, meaning that I don't rack up and spend more than $3,000. So now that we know the fundamentals as it relates to your billing cycle and your statement balance and your credit card limits and utilization, how can we finesse this thing to sort of make super smart money moves as it relates to buying things with a credit card, paying it off strategically so that it doesn't show up on our statement balance? Let's dive into the cheat code. So the cheat code, or the golden rule of using your credit effectively, is to pay off whatever you owe or spent on your credit card before it hits the statement date. How does this work in practice, Kenny Finance? Well, lucky for you, I'll explain. But first, I'm gonna need you to hit that subscribe button because this is free game that can be saving you hundreds of points on your credit score, as well as helping you unlock a better financial life. So do me a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. So how are we gonna break this down? So let's say, for example, over the last 30 days, I spent $1,000 on my credit card, and my statement date is the 10th of every single month. Now, what I have to do is strategically, whenever I spend money, if I know that, May, June, July 10th is when my statement balance sort of triggers and it sort of reads and collects everything that is spent over time that hasn't been paid off yet, I need to make sure that before the 10th of every single month, I pay off or pay early whatever I have accumulating in my current balance for my credit card. So let's make this very, very tactical. So if the 10th is the date of every single month that my statement balance is generated, meaning that it reads all of the outstanding purchases that haven't been paid off yet, what I'm going to do is set a reminder or an automatic payment on my credit card earlier than the statement date. Meaning if it's due on the 10th of my statement date, I'm going to set it the 5th, the 6th, or the 7th. And I'm set a reminder or an automatic payment to where I'm going to pay off whatever my balance is before it hits statement date. So to the credit card company, I have paid off in full everything that I owed on my credit card on the 5th of every single month. So the 10th comes and all that actually shows up on my statement balance, which by the way, gets reported to the credit bureaus. The only thing that's reported on my statement balance is whatever I spent between the 5th and the 10th instead of the entire 30 days of purchasing that I made. See, that's what's key. What you need to do is set a artificial payment date for your credit card a few days before your statement date. I don't know how much free game I can give you guys. This is golden. I wish I knew this when I just got started with credit cards. So set that statement date at a date that reasonably works for you, whether it be the 15th or the 20th, whatever day works for you, but always set an interim payment date or reminder to do so a few days before that statement date generates. All right. Now, what are the benefits of doing all this and paying your balance early? Well, number one, your statement balance is going to be significantly lower, meaning what gets snitched to the credit bureaus is actually a lot lower than what you actually spent over the last 30 days. Only thing you decide to do is just pay off it a lot earlier. Second thing, you are avoiding late fees. Like, there's no possible way to be late if you pay things off early. It's just logic, plain and simple. And the third one is that you are avoiding interest, because if you're late, you get charged interest, which can be 30-40% plus. And if you pay things off early in full, your balance that is outstanding that could be charged interest is actually zero and super low. So think of it that way. So on my handy dandy calendar, I have the 15th of every single month circled as my statement balance date. This is the date that my 50% utilization is going to be set as my statement balance. And if that happens, I am screwed when it comes to credit. So what I do is 5 days before that, the 10th of every single month, that is going to be my Kenny Finance credit card payment date. All right, that is when I pay the entire bill of $10,000 off completely in cash, meaning that when it shows up on my statement date of that 15th, there is nothing on there, meaning a credit utilization of zero. So I go from 50% utilization all the way to zero because I decided to pay the full balance 5 days earlier. Cheat codes. That's all we have to do. It's that easy. And that's why I tell people credit cards is not this super dark or evil thing. Instead, it is an effective tool that can maximize the usefulness of your dollars because it can help with timing, it can help with leverage, it can help with all of the things, and it can improve your credit if you use it the right way. So let's stay responsible and make sure that we use credit effectively. And the golden rule, I've said it probably 1,000 times in this video, just pay your credit card balance in full before your statement date. That easy. That's all I got for you guys as relates to credit card bill management. But if you want to take your credit score overall to the next level, then make sure you check out my next video where I touch on the fundamentals of unpacking and improving your credit scores. So check that out. And I appreciate you guys rocking with us. Look, this is a community. We're all in this together. Everyone misses the dates every now and then. But look, automate it, put it in your calendars, and make sure you're organized when it comes to your credit cards. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys smash that like button. It means a lot to the channel. Share it with whoever you think needs to hear this. Leave me a comment if you're balling or slacking when it comes to your credit. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate you guys taking the time. Peace.